So I've been thinking a lot lately about responsibility, specifically our collective responsibility to protect children. It's a topic that can feel huge and overwhelming, but it's something we can't afford to ignore. We're talking about creating a world where every child has the opportunity to thrive, to reach their full potential. When we're born, we're totally dependent on others. Babies can't even hold their own heads up, let alone feed themselves or escape from danger. It's a gradual process, and it takes years for children to develop the skills they need to take care of themselves. It's our job to be the safety net, to create a world where kids can be kids without constantly facing threats to their well-being.
Now you might be thinking, well, duh, Johnson, of course kids need protection, that's why we have laws. These laws recognize that children are humans deserving of dignity and respect, and they lay out a framework for ensuring basic rights like education, healthcare, and protection from abuse. But here's the thing, laws are just words on paper if we don't actively uphold them.
We've all heard the saying, it takes a village to raise a child, and there's a lot of truth to that. The experiences we have in childhood, both good and bad, shape who we become as adults. Trauma, abuse, neglect, these things can have a profound and lasting impact on a person's life. When children feel safe, loved, and supported, they're more likely to grow into healthy, well-adjusted adults who contribute positively to the world.
Look, I'm not a philosopher, but I think most of us can agree that there's a fundamental moral imperative to protect those who are vulnerable. Children can't vote, they can't work, they can't always advocate for themselves. They depend on us, the adults in their lives, to be their voice, to fight for their well-being, even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient.
Think about it this way. The children alive today are the ones who will be tackling the world's biggest challenges in the future. They're the ones who will be finding solutions to climate change, fighting for social justice, pushing the boundaries of science and technology. But they can't do any of that if they're not given the opportunity to thrive. If we want to ensure a brighter future for everyone, we need to start by investing in the well-being of children today.
This is a tough one to talk about, but it's something we have to address. The sad reality is that children are particularly vulnerable to abuse and exploitation. These are all horrific violations of a child's basic human rights, and we have a collective responsibility to prevent them. That means creating systems that identify and support children at risk, educating ourselves and our communities about the signs of abuse, and advocating for policies that hold perpetrators accountable.
Protecting children isn't just about keeping them physically safe. It's also about creating an environment where they can feel emotionally secure. Those early experiences shape our sense of self-worth, our ability to form healthy relationships, our overall well-being. When children are exposed to violence, neglect, or instability, it can have a devastating impact on their emotional and psychological development.
Education is often called the great equalizer, and for good reason. It gives children the tools they need to break cycles of poverty, to pursue their dreams, to contribute to society in meaningful ways. By protecting children's right to education, we're not just giving them a chance to learn, we're giving them a chance at a better future.
When children grow up in safe and supportive environments, they're more likely to become responsible, engaged members of their communities. They're more likely to contribute to the economy, less likely to engage in criminal activity, and more likely to raise healthy families of their own. Investing in children's well-being is also an investment in the long-term stability and prosperity of our communities.
We know that children who experience violence are more likely to perpetuate that violence in their own lives. By intervening early, by providing support and resources to families, by fostering a culture of peace and respect, we can break the cycle of violence and create a more compassionate world for everyone. It's not easy, but it's definitely possible.
So, where do we go from here? What can we do as individuals to make a difference? Well, for starters, we can start by acknowledging the shared responsibility we have to protect children. It's not just the job of parents, teachers, or social workers. It's on all of us. We can support organizations working to protect children, advocate for policies that promote children's well-being, and most importantly, we can be a positive force in the lives of the children around us.